Hello Taurus, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Taurus for the middle of August. Now do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. Now I am using the Gilded Tarot as well as the Kipper Oracle deck. There are links to all of these decks in the description below if you'd like to pick them up for yourself. Also, the scammers are back. I do not offer personal readings and I will not send you a message on any platform, so do not get scammed. All right, let's go ahead and let's see what we have here. Make sure everything is in view. And then we'll get right into it. Take 3 of these Kipper cards to clarify as we go along, and then I'll also take 3 tarot cards. All right, energy on the bottom. You have the Judgment card. I always like to say that this is the final boss in the Major Arcana or even in the tarot, because this is like the second to last card before you get to the World. Of course, the World completes the Major Arcana. It completes the Fool's journey through the tarot, through the Major Arcana. It completes a big chapter of your, or a big cycle in your life. The thing is, you can't get to the World without going through the Judgment energy. And so what is the Judgment? Well, this is about self-evaluation, okay? This is about going and doing some self-analysis and asking yourself what it is you need to do, like where in your life do you need to sort of, where in your life do you need to maybe shine more attention to? What do you need to give more attention to? What do you need to drop? What do you need to add? All of those sorts of things can come forward when you take a look at the Judgment card. If there's something that you know you shouldn't be doing, the Judgment card energy says, okay, this is part of your self-evaluation. This is part of your self-analysis. Because along with that, the Judgment card is also a major energy of karma. And it's one of the 2 major karma cards. I mean, there are multiple karma cards in the tarot, but it's one of the major ones because essentially it's like the actions that you've taken rendering out in real time. The entire journey that you've had so far up to this point sort of being put on a silver platter in front of you and kind of being there and kind of being out in the open for you to sort of look at and to sort of look and analyze the actions that you've taken so far up to this point. And so hopefully I'm explaining that correctly, but essentially if you can get past the Judgment card, you can complete something very important in your life. In the current situation, you do have the 5 of Swords energy. So the 5 of Swords is about a loss. It can be something painful. However, this is a card that I like to sort of describe as sort of like maybe skill building or even like hardening your experience. And what I mean by that is this person is down, but they're not out. They are getting harder. They are getting stronger as a result of losing something here. And you can even see that the sun rays are coming out of this person, indicating they are down, but they're not out. And so when you get the 5 of Swords, it's a totally recoverable loss or a totally recoverable situation in their life. And it's certainly not the end of the road. And the 5 of Swords is, like all of the cards, a necessary part of our journey in life. And the reality is that we've all gone through losses, right? It has not been up only for everyone, right? There have been struggles, there have been challenges along each and every one of our journeys. And the 5 of Swords is simply a reminder of that. So you can certainly, regardless, some of you may be going through some sort of challenging situation, and I think it has to do with this Judgment energy. I think some of you are really, really taking a look at yourself. You're looking inward at this time and seeing what you can do to improve. In the problem position, you have this 9 of Swords. So the 9 of Swords is something that's fearful. Okay, it's a major energy of fear. This person's having a nightmare. They're staying up late at night and they're afraid that these 9 swords, you can see they're staying up late at night. They're afraid of these 9 swords that are going to come down and hit them, but they never actually do. And so it is a major card of fear. Some of you may be fearing loss, quite literally, or fearing of losing out on somebody. And you know, it's kind of giving me this type of energy, which is sometimes in life we have to like cut people out. in order to progress to our next level, or to kind of move our timeline along, sometimes we do have to let go of people and of situations. And I do feel like maybe this is showing up here for some of you. I think some of you are a little bit afraid to kind of cut the cable, okay, or cut the cord, or maybe even cut your losses on something. And I don't even think that this is financial or monetary, although we do have some pentacles here. It could just be like relationships in your life as well. But let's dive into this some more. So in the past, you do have the Page of Pentacles, which is some type of big offer, or it can be some type of big offer here in the past that may have come into your life. The Page of Pentacles says that generally in your life, prospects are looking good, prospects are looking up, things are looking up. It is potentially good news in one's life. It can be about spending for whatever reason. There may be something here for you, Taurus, about spending, okay? This could be a very important message for some of you. Page of Pentacles is like, I don't always associate it with spending, but I do feel like for whatever reason, there may have been, maybe some of you have invested here in the past in something. Maybe some of you have spent money on something. I also feel like there was maybe some type of, the other thing is there was maybe some type of job offer or job opportunity that was promised to you that somebody never really followed through on. I say that because in the future, you have the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles represents your teammates, your colleagues, but it also represents being rewarded and recognized for all of your hard work. This is a card that comes forward when you're in the initial stages of getting a job raise or a job upgrade at work. And we see the offer maybe that has come in here in the past with the Page of Pentacles. And it's possible that some of you are like spending a whole lot of time going back and forth on when is this opportunity going to finally sort of like be completed? Like, when am I finally going to get the raise? We talked about it before. It hasn't come in. It hasn't arrived yet. And that's very similar to this Judgment energy, right? The Judgment is like, man, I'm almost there. Like I've almost got this, right? This could also be related to an interview process as well. This could also be around, like I said, I think for some of you, probably a smaller portion of you, this could be around relationships. Because Three of Pentacles, 3 is a number of other people being involved. Trinity, unity, other people. And again, Three of Pentacles could be colleagues. So there's something here where you're like cutting a loss, or you're cutting ties, or there's something that you're losing out on. It's a necessary part of your journey for whatever reason. This is showing up as a necessary part of your journey in this card, in this reading. If this reading is for you, it is showing up as a necessary part in your journey. In the thoughts, in your awareness, or on your mind here, you do have the Six of Cups. Six of Cups represents something from the past. Okay, this is what I'm saying. Some of you are spending a whole lot of time thinking about a promise that was potentially made here with the Page of Pentacles, okay? There may have been something that was offered to you that has not been reciprocated yet, or that has not been, I don't think reciprocated is the right word. Or, you know what word I was coming into my mind? Rescinded. There may have been an offer that was rescinded, like in that, I think I'm using that correctly. I think I'm using that word correctly, in that it was taken off the table. There may have been something that was taken off the table here. And that's never a fun situation. If that's the case, if you are in that situation, the Judgment card is showing up for you to ask yourself why it happened. Why, like, not only why it happened, but also what you can do with this new information. If there is something that you can do with this new information. I think you could find some really nice healing in analyzing what went wrong, or why something like that happened, if that is resonating. I also think that some of you it's really important right now that you reflect and evaluate. Okay, I've been saying it over and over and over again, but it's coming in. It's coming in here very heavily. In the subconscious, what you can't see are the hidden. You have the Five of Pentacles. It is a card of loss. You never love to see the Five of Swords and the Five of Pentacles, because both can indicate loss in some ways. You never really love to see it. The problem that I have here with this is that we have the Empress, the Two of Pentacles, the Star, and the Knight of Wands in the future, which I'm going to talk about in just a second. All of those cards are more or less abundance cards, or they can be. And this Five of Pentacles, typically when I see it in the lower row, you are talking to yourself negatively about finances, resources, and money. In the upper row, it may be thinking. The lower row is self-talk. Okay, it's the way that you are talking to yourself about this. Again, self-evaluation here. I don't know that it's financial loss. I feel like it's possible that some of you have lost out on something. And this might have been financially related, but I don't feel a doom and gloom energy here because of where we're about to go. So in the staff, in the direction that you are headed, where we're about to go here, in your current influence, the way that you are influencing the situation, you have the Empress card, biggest card of abundance in the tarot. Okay, so this could be just a warning call or a warning shot that you should maybe think about the thoughts that you are placing in your mind, or the self-talk that you are having towards money when you get this Five of Pentacles and the Empress. I know I say it a lot in my readings, but it's very important. Self-talk is very important, and it's very powerful, and so are your thoughts. So the Empress is major abundance. It's fertility energy. It's the ability to see something grow. It's ability to see a seed grow. It is, it's also the mother archetype. I just don't feel like that's probably a message for you here. I think this is about abundance. I think this is about resources. In the external influence, you have the Two of Pentacles, which is a change. Okay, Two of Pentacles does represent a change in finances. You can see that this person is sort of juggling the pentacles. You could say that this is a card that indicates choppy waters in the, well, you can't see it in this illustration, but you can see it in other illustrations in the card where the water's sort of going up and going down, and the boat is kind of sailing on choppy waters or choppy seas. And that indicates that there could be money coming in, there could be money coming out. By default, it's a positive change. The fact that it's paired with the Empress here is definitely good. It is coming in the external, which means the external in this case is something that's happening outside of you. It could be involved, it could be another person who's around you or involved with you in some ways. And so there are changes here, no doubt about it. I think to make the most of these changes, it's going into this period of evaluation with the Judgment very heavily here on the bottom. Again, I think this is also about your mindset, because you have the Nine of Swords. Against swords is your thought process, and then the Nine of Swords in particular is like fear, like heavy fear energy. So I think that is going to be very important for you as well. Let's go and take a look at what's in the hopes and fears. But if you're enjoying this video so far, please do hit that like button and subscribe, as it really does help my channel grow in a big way. So in the hopes and fears, you have the Star. Okay, so the Star is a wish being granted to you. It's one of the major wish cards. It is the major wish card in the tarot. And not only that, but this card can represent recovery. Okay, recovery from challenging situations. This is something that you were very much hoping for, and some of you are maybe fearing that you won't recover from a situation, but that couldn't be farther from the truth. Okay, there are major signs of abundance here. The Star is such a major card of optimism and positivity. It's one of my favorite cards, if not my favorite card. And again, it can indicate recovery. In the outcome, you have the Knight of Wands. There's something new here, very clearly forming for you. Knight of Wands is moving in a new direction. It can represent like physically changing locations, like moving, quite literally moving. But it can also be around, it's a card of being a maverick as well. You know, allowing your talents, gifts, abilities to really shine and kind of guide you forward in your life. Let's go and take a look at what these three tarot cards are and see what we have here. You have the Knight of Swords, you have the Ten of Swords, and you have the Eight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Swords is a card of chaos, potentially. It is a card of swift action, swift movement, something happening very quickly. Okay, it is a card of action though. Okay, so when you get the Knight of Swords, it does ask you to take action on something. That's the best way forward. Ten of Swords is something that is ending in your life. There's clearly an ending here with the energies, and You have the Eight of Pentacles as well, which is really a good card of good good movement forward or positive developments in work. It is the biggest talent card in the tarot. Again, to have that with the Knight of Wands is certainly very much a good thing. So what I feel like saying is you definitely have something to fall back on here. Whatever might happen, whatever is falling out of your life, so there's something that's falling out of your life, but there's also something that you can fall back on. And I feel pretty strongly about that for you, Taurus. So you have message of concern, mature woman, and message here showing up in the Kipper cards. If you're still with me, some of you, this is about a relationship, okay, that's ending. Definitely big communication coming in here with message and message of concern. That represents communication. And then you also have this page. Pages are messengers in the tarot. So certainly some communication related to this person, this mature woman. They could be any gender, it doesn't matter. In my readings, I don't attach gender to my cards. This could be just somebody who is significant to you. They could be older than you, or they could be somebody who is like a boss or something like that, like your boss at work or something like that. But that's what I have here. So thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. Really appreciate you, and I will see you in the next reading.